It was a good weekend. We had 14 sales this weekend. We had numerous smalls. When I mean smalls, they were just not that much money. They made a little money. But we had a couple of doozies. But we're going to save those at the end because you're definitely going to want to see them because one of them was really, really good. So let's go. First of all, we got this New York Yankees hat. And we sold this for $14.77. This was just a basic hat. There wasn't anything spectacular about it. But it sold. We only paid $1 for it. So you can't beat that. This is a Genesis bicycle mountain bike seat. And we picked this up at a local garage sale here in town for $1. They just had pretty much everything marked $1. So we grabbed this, but there was just really nothing else that we could flip and make any money on. But we grabbed this one. It sold for $27.77. And we like deals like that. Simple to list, simple to ship. Love it. Well, look here. Another Waisaki puzzle. Leslie had put this puzzle together because she wanted to get it out in time before the Christmas holidays, and it sold fairly quickly. $19.77 for it. This is a puzzle we picked up for $2 at a garage sale. Do a lot of puzzles. There's good money in puzzles. Waisakis, you'll see us putting them on here a lot. Waisaki puzzles are my wife's favorite. She loves them. Leslie just enjoys putting them together, and we buy them inexpensively, and we can flip them and make money, so it's a hobby that's paid for. This is one of my favorite things to list. Golf clubs. We sell a tremendous amount of golf clubs. This club we bought at an estate sale. We walked into the garage and there was a hard shell case with a golf bag with a bunch of clubs in it. And the hard shell case, which is what people use to put their bag and clubs in for traveling on an airplane, was I can't remember the brand. Matter of fact, let me show you here. I got this ready. This is the case, SKB hard shell heavy duty golf club travel case with roller wheels. This is the case. This thing is a quality case. The case was $20. We sold it on Facebook MarketPlace. It was listed for 3 weeks, and a guy came over and picked it up for $57. So we made $37, quick money. These things will bring a little more. I don't like the stuff sitting around in my garage. I want my golf carts in the garage. I want my Ego power tools and what have you. But it sold fast, and we were happy to take the $37 profit, and you pay no fees, no shipping, no nothing. They come right to your door and pick it up. So that was basically paid for everything because the golf clubs and bag were $15, if you can believe that. So $35 for everything, and we made $37 just on the hard shell case. So the golf clubs are all paid for. This one sold. This is the 6-iron. There were 5 of them. The 6-iron sold for $32.77 this weekend, plus $12.23 shipping. That's pretty darn good. I like that a lot. We also sold the 7-iron a while back for $32.77, plus $12.23 shipping. BOLOs, baby, look for them. Golf clubs bring bucks. I always break them up. I hardly ever sell a complete set unless it's something really special. Here's the 8-iron that sold for $32.77, plus $12.23 shipping. This is adding up for a $35 buy. We still have the 9-iron listed for the same price, $32.77, plus the $12.23 shipping. And the pitching wedge, which they always bring more, and I list them for more, because those are the most commonly lost on a golf course. They leave them laying by the green or wherever they meet, making a chip, and they leave them laying there and they forget them, and people look for them. This one hasn't sold yet. The pitching wedges sell. I was surprised that this one was still here, and we already sold the 6, 7, and 8-iron. So we have the 9-iron and the pitching wedge left. So with those 5 clubs and that hard shell case for $35, you can see that's making some solid cash. I also want to show you these. This is a Bobby Jones putter. It's fairly rare. It was in great condition. This was in that bag also. And I have this listed for $37.77 for $12.23 shipping. Most of my clubs, when I list them, I charge $12.23 flat shipping. That covers pretty much the whole United States. But this putter was in there, and that was a great little addition to the other clubs. I want to show you something. We bought these items on 10/17/24, which happened to be my girl's birthday. at Eagle Ridge Drive Estate. Listed them all on 10/18. And this has not sold yet, but it's just going to add to the profitability of that bag of clubs. This putter was also in there also. This is a vintage Northwestern BR11 blade putter with a jumbo grip, as you can see here. I take Barkeeper's Friend and scrub these things to bring them back to the brass finish, which I think really does help sell them. $37.77, and this is free shipping. Don't know quite why I did that, but there must have been a reason. And as you can see, Eagle Ridge on 10/19 is when I listed this one. The same with the irons. All bought at the same estate sale. It's pretty darn cool when you can spend $35 and get in there and list all this stuff. We will clear well over $200 profit on that one find. You need some extra cash? Get out and look. Stuff is out there. We find it every day. It's amazing. Here's another small. This is a Howard Miller portrait clock photo. We've had this for quite some time, and we picked it up for a couple of dollars at a garage sale, but we've had it for over a year, and I had it priced up there a ways. It just wasn't selling. So when they sit around for that long, I'm going to mark the price down. We marked it down to $14.77, and it sold in a couple of days, so it's out of here. We still made a little bit of money on this. It was free shipping, as you can see here, and in previous ones. I just forgot to show the shipping on them, but they were all free shipping. But this one ended up making a little bit of money. Here's a cool old vintage small. Bought it for $1 at a garage sale. You know, smalls are good when you can buy them for $1 and sell them for $17.77. This we charged $6.23 shipping on. So that was a nice flip for $1 buy at a garage sale. These are items I always look at. Any type of filters. This is an Air Care Super Wick filter, and it's for let's see, evaporative. It must be for a humidifier. I don't even remember. But we listed it. We bought it for $2 at a sale and listed it. It was brand new in the box. Listed it for $12.77 plus $9.25 shipping. Another nice flip on an inexpensive item that makes you some money. And stick around to the end. I'm going to show you an entire breakdown of everything we bought, what we paid for it, and the net profit that we made after fees and shipping costs. You'll want to see that. It's pretty staggering what these smalls add up to. All right, here's a personal item. Retirees, you want to declutter your home, move some stuff out, do this. Leslie and I were just going through things around the house and drawers and cupboards and closets and everything. And we came across this. Her parents lived at Valdosta Country Club, or near there, quite numerous years ago. They've both passed, unfortunately. But we found this in a drawer that we've had laying there for years. And so I says, what the heck? I'm going to throw it on there. It took me a couple of minutes to list it, and I listed it for $11.77. And it sold fairly quickly. I was surprised. It was a velvet bag. It was really cool. And so at $11.77, we made a little bit of cash for finding something in a drawer. Another Mixmaster piece. Sunbeam Mixmaster mixers. I buy them when I can find them. I typically won't pay more than $5, $6, $7, $8 for them. And I part them out. So this one we did pay $5 for. They were asking $10, but she was happy to get rid of it. I said, how about $5 for that old mixer? And she says, sure. So we bought it, brought it home, parted it out, and this is just one of the parts that we have listed, and it's already sold. We listed it for $17.77, and it was free shipping, but it's cheap. Goes out easy. Put it in a bubble mailer, and it's gone. So those end up making me good money. We sell the beaters, we sell the base, we sell the motor, all kinds of things you can sell on them. It's just something to do. That's the type of stuff I do when I'm sitting watching a football game or watching the NASCAR race, fiddling around with it. And we have Roku TVs with YouTube TV. And if something happens I want to see, I can easily rewind it. But I get a lot of work done while I'm doing that, where before I was just laying around doing nothing. Another pair of shoes. Sell a lot of shoes. This one I kind of goofed up on. Interesting. I had them listed at $27.77. I usually always had, I always had shipping on shoes, or I may up the price, which allows for free shipping. These, I put $27.77, and I should have had shipping charges on it. An individual sent an offer for $20 on these, which is unreal. It's surprising to me what some people offer. They think we just do this for nothing. And so I countered back and I just says, hey, I goofed up. I didn't add the shipping on this and I should have. So I can't meet your price of $20, especially with free shipping to you. So I simply told them, if you want to buy them to $27.77, I'll honor that price. If not, I'll revise the listing and I'll add my shipping. It wasn't within 5 minutes that I sent that message. He bought them for the full price. So I sold them to him. I just felt that was the right thing to do. Well, this was a nice flip. This is a really cool jacket. This is a vintage 90s Carhartt blanket line jacket. Has the Aztec look to the lining. Very popular and sought after. We bought this at a thrift store for $12. We have a video on this and two other Carhartts that we bought, and we made some solid money on them. So you might want to check that video out. I'll put a link to it below. It's pretty darn cool. I think you'll enjoy it because we make some cash. We're going to show you what we made on a couple of them here. But we sold this thing for $65 on auction. We put it up for auction. The bidding started at $57.77, went to $58, $61, $63, $64, and ended at $65. Quite frankly, I thought this jacket might do a little bit more than that, but it didn't, and that's fine. We paid $12 for it, plus $23.15 shipping. I mark the shipping up when I do things on auctions, and I do calculated shipping, add $5 for handling fees. So they paid $23.15 for the shipping on this, which we made $5 profit on that. So it wasn't a bad flip for $12. This was just a great looking jacket with a very, very cool look, as you can see. Here's a brand new pair of Wrangler jeans. We picked these up in an estate sale for $2. They had them just laying there. I don't know why they just do it, but they did it. And estate sale companies, they want to sell stuff and move it. And this was on the second day, so it was 50% off. So we got them for $2, where they were originally $4, obviously. $22.77 with free shipping, and we rock and rolled and shipped them out. Here's an item that we had for quite some time. This is another item. It's a small. As you've noticed, we've sold quite a few smalls in this, but they all add up on a weekend. We paid $1 for this at a garage sale and had it for quite some time. But it ended up selling $17.77 with free shipping. We moved her out the door. Here's a brand new hat. Never been worn. Bought it for $2. I like to buy them for $1, but this one I paid $2 for it because it was new. Sold it for $16.77, and it was free shipping. Put her in a box, ship her out. Love smalls. Very little time involved. 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes the most between listing and shipping. So let's just say we cleared $10 on this item, and we spent 10 minutes. There's 6 10-minute increments in an hour, as you know. That is $60 an hour. That's the potential of what you can do selling stuff on eBay. It doesn't sound like much money when you only make $10 on something. But if you list 6 items and make $10 a piece on them in an hour, it's pretty tough to find a $60 an hour job. We got a wing dinger here, baby. Thanks for staying around to see what we get out of this. This item we put up for auction a week ago Sunday on November the 3rd. We put the starting price at $47.77, and it took off right away. Just on that Sunday, it went $48, $49.50. And then on Saturday, it jumped up to $55. On Monday, $58. Tuesday, $60, $62, $65, $67, $70. Why this November 5th one's up here at $80, I can't figure out how that happens with eBay, but it doesn't matter. It's at $80. Then on Wednesday, $85. Thursday, $92, $95, $98. Here it is again, the 7th bid coming in at $100. 110, 110.01. That's a weird bid too. $115.50, $120, $121 it ended up at for this coat. A vintage Carhartt distressed Detroit jacket, size XL, dark brown quilt lined. It's got its share of flaws in it, but this is a nice one. You ought to see some of the money that some of these bring that are just ratty. And you'll want to check out our video because we bought 3 Carhartt jackets at a Salvation Army thrift store. And we paid $12 for this jacket here. With tax, $12.72. And you saw the earlier jacket we bought that for $12.72. And it brought $65. So between these 2 jackets, they brought $180-ish. You know, that's pretty tough to beat. Detroit jacket. Made in Dearborn, Michigan, made in the USA. Check out the video where we bought them. We show us buying them in the store and then listing off 3 of them and what they all 3 did. It's a fun video. But this one sold, $121, cash in our pocket. I want to show you some of the other Carhartt Detroit jackets and what they bring, just for some comps, because this is a huge BOLO. Be on the lookout wherever you go for these. Look at these are asking prices. These are not sold yet, but they're asking this kind of money for them. I believe, I'm no expert on them, but all I know is when I bought them, I've always made money. But I believe it's because it has Dearborn, Michigan tag in it. They call it the Detroit jacket. And they're union made in the USA. You can see all these great prices, but check this out. Let me show you some sold comps. $350 for that one. Look how rough this one is. I mean, it's faded out and dirty. It still brought $72. I saw some red ones the other day when I was looking at them. Here we go. If you can find a red one, you need to grab it. Look at this one, brought $1,300. Now they put in this code J97. I don't know what that means. Here's one that brought $820. Here's one, $325. Crimson red. Isn't that interesting? Didn't know Carhartt did stuff like that. $900. I know what you're going to be looking for. Get